So I remember 2 years ago in 2022, every single night I would write a to-do list, but there was a huge mistake in this to-do list. So let me tell you how it was. I used to wake up, brush my teeth, eat, and then supposedly work. But the work that I was supposedly doing at the time, the work that I was meant to be doing at the time, I wasn't very enthusiastic about it, nor did I want to do it. It wasn't exciting work, basically. So every single time when I would follow that structure, I would either not do the work or do the work but not complete the work, or do the work but take a very, very long time to start the work because I'm procrastinating. I don't want to do it because I'm not, at this time, I can't remember too much what I was doing. This was 2 years ago, but I really wasn't enjoying the work that I was doing. So I would procrastinate it, put it off, and yeah, it just wasn't good. And around these times, I think I was waking up not as early as I wake up these days. So of course, if you're prolonging something and you're longing something out, the day is basically gone. Especially those times I didn't wake up that early, probably about like 9, 10, and then procrastinating for 4 hours. This time it's the afternoon. Yeah, it wasn't looking good, right? But there was a huge problem with that to-do list. That to-do list is already set up for failure. That to-do list was set out to be like that because the work wasn't the priority. I ate first. I ate before I even done anything. I ate food, then I done work. That doesn't make sense. And also at this time, while I ate the food, I used to watch YouTube. So that's not a good idea in itself, because if you watch one video, you're going to watch another one, and yeah, you're just binge watching YouTube videos. Not on purpose, but slightly on purpose, because you're procrastinating. You know what you're doing. When you're procrastinating, you know what you're doing. You're just, yeah, it's annoying. But in this video, I'm going to be telling you guys how to not be like that, because you want to be getting your work done. But this method that I'm about to say is what I do today and what I do every day. Even though my work now is much more enjoyable, I do it now. This method is called Eat the Frog. If I gave you a frog to eat, right? If I gave you a frog, but it's around dinner time, would you eat that frog before your dinner, or would you eat that frog after your dinner? Most people would say they'll eat it before, because they can eat the frog and then eat their dinner, and it'll cleanse out, their taste palates, and their mouth will feel kind of refreshed again with new flavors. And no one's gonna want to eat the food and then eat the frog after, because while you're eating the food, you're not going to enjoy the food because you're stressing about eating the frog after. So you might as well do it the other way around, so you can eat the frog and then peacefully eat your meal now that you've done that hard task. You see where this is going? The same thing applies to your work. You need to eat the frog. Why on earth was I eating food, watching YouTube in the morning, and then expected to do a hard task? It just doesn't work. You're just going to procrastinate. You have to do the hardest task first thing ever. So the to-do list should have been wake up, brush teeth, work. The first thing you do, whatever it is that you put off, whatever it is that you don't like doing, whether that's working out, whether that's, your business work, whatever it is that you put off doing, and you know that if you wait too long for doing that certain thing, you most likely won't get it done, do it now. Do it the first thing in the morning, like the first thing. That's what I do now. Every single day, I do the hardest task in my day, right? The hardest task ever. The hardest task usually these days is editing. Guys, I don't know if you understand, but editing is a very tedious job to do. It's very, very tedious. It's hard work. It takes a long time. So it usually will take about, an hour or two in the morning. That's me waking up super early, and then after I edit, I record a video, and then that's my content work done for the day. And then I have my whole life and my other work I have to get on with the other half of the morning, and then the rest of the day, because my life is very busy, guys, and I have a lot of things that I need to be doing. So especially when I want to, keep up with something like content creation, this is a hard task. So I have to get it done the first thing in the morning. And because if I wait for the evening or something, I'm going to be too tired, and then the videos won't be dropping. So you have to do whatever's the most tedious and hardest task straight away, especially if you don't like doing something. Back then, I was doing work that I didn't particularly enjoy. So of course, you're going to put it off even more. So thinking back to the example that I gave you of me in 2022 procrastinating my work, this now relates to you, because you have to understand and identify the underlying root cause of the procrastination. You have to find the cause of it. For example, the cause for me and the cause for most people was not prioritizing the hard task, doing easy things first and then the hard things, when it should be the hard things first and then the easiest. Eating food and watching YouTube videos is really, really easy. Anybody can do that. And then expected to do hard work doesn't jam. You gotta do the hard work first, then eat. That's just how I work. Especially back then, it wasn't working out. So for you, you need to find the root cause. Are you prioritizing your hard tasks? Are you prioritizing what you need to be doing? Because I guarantee you, if you woke up and got that hard work done straight away, there wouldn't be no procrastination because the work's already done. You got the whole day ahead of you now. That work's done. That's why I have to wake up and edit first thing. I usually edit yesterday's video or something. I'm getting back into the groove of, uploading, but I have to edit yesterday's video because my whole day is jam-packed. I don't have no time to edit. So I have to edit the first thing in the morning and then record the video because this is the only time that I can get this type of, work done. So for you, you have to find the root cause of why you're procrastinating. Another point that helped me overcome my procrastination was breaking tasks into smaller, manageable tasks, basically. So let's use homework as an example, right? So you got homework. It's an assignment to do. You got an assignment. That assignment, let's say it's Friday, but the assignment's due on Monday. On that Friday, you would do about half of the homework. And then on Sunday, you do the other half of the homework. Or maybe Sunday's too long. Maybe you do the other half to the next day, maybe Saturday. Doing that half of the homework is you breaking it down because Friday to Monday, you've got a gap. You've got Saturday, you've got the weekend. So if you do the homework, half of it on Friday, another 50% of that homework is way easier to do and it's less overwhelming to do than if you just done it all in one day. Because typically the reason why you procrastinate is because the work that you have in front of you is so overwhelming. And if you just half that down by 50%, even 20%, just any way you're breaking it down, it will become less overwhelming. And the less overwhelming it becomes, the more likely you'll be able to do it. Because just like the homework example, if you know you've done 50% of your homework on Friday, the next 50 is nothing. It's only half of it. Say the homework you get is a sheet. It's a two-sided sheet, right? You've done all the hard questions on the first sheet. All you have to do is one more sheet, one more the back, and that's it. That's what helped me back then as well. Breaking down big tasks into smaller tasks. So typically when my to-do list was, wake up, brush teeth, eat, and then work. Back then, the work was huge, meaning the work that I had to do was a lot of work. So what I started doing is I rearranged the to-do list. I rearranged the schedule and the to-do list and everything. But with the work, it wasn't as much work as it usually would be, right? So the work that I expected myself to be doing was ridiculous amount, like a week's worth of work. So instead, I just done the normal thing and just done a day's worth of work and just constantly building up those days. And by the end of the week of constantly building up those days, I've done a week's worth of work. That's how it usually should be anyway. I don't know why I was being so ambitious, especially considering the fact that I didn't even like doing the work that I was doing at the time. I don't know why I was expecting to do all that chunk of work in one day. It just didn't make sense. Now, the last point I'm going to give you when it comes to beating your procrastination and actually stopping it so you can progress in your work is the 5-minute rule. Now, all these things I'm talking about, I still do today. Now, the 5-minute rule is very, very impactful because what it does is you're committing yourself to 5 hard minutes of pure work. So you sit down at your workspace, whatever work you're doing, and you put the alarm, you put a timer on for 5 minutes and you say, these 5 minutes, I'm locking in. These 5 minutes, no distractions, I'm pure focused. The reason why that 5-minute rule is so important is because the more you do it, the more accustomed you will be and your brain will be to actually getting that hard work done and being focused because you're on a time restraint, right? You only have 5 minutes. So the more you keep doing that, the more work you get done in those 5 minutes because you're in a rush, you only have 5 minutes. The more focused you are because you only have 5 minutes. And the more committed you are to that work because you have only 5 minutes. So the constant doing that, it gets you accustomed to just working under pressure, or not even just under pressure, just that vibe of working. And then the 5-minute rule builds you up to being so locked in, you don't even have to do the 5-minute rule. So back in 2022, I started with the 5-minute rule. No, first I started with the 3-minute Then I done the 5 minute. The 5 minutes more impactful. I recommend you do the 5 minute rule. I done 3, 5, and then after 5 I done 10. I just after 5 I kept adding 5, 5, 5. So eventually I was able, to work for like an hour, pure focus. That's the goal. Think about meditation, right? Meditating, you're slowly building up your focus. You're slowly building up the minutes until you get to such astronomical numbers when it comes to meditation. Now you're meditating for 20 minutes, 30 minutes. You know what I mean? It's same with this. You want to get to that point where you're working fully locked in, like full focus, deep work for an hour straight. And this 5 minute rule can build you up to that. So if you want to stop procrastinating, use the 5 minute rule and use the other things I said, because come on, we don't have time to procrastinate. We got November and December and the year is done. So there's no time for procrastination. There's no time for laziness. We have to get it done. And also eat the frog. Make sure you're doing the hardest tasks in your day first thing in the morning. First thing before you do anything else, do that hard task, whether that's your homework, whether that's business work, whatever you got going on, do it the first thing as soon as you wake up. And I promise you, by you listening to this video, you will stop procrastinating. And of course, if you find yourself slipping back into old ways or old habits, or you will listen to this video, you end up seeing success and you stop procrastinating, but the schedule, whatever you're doing for yourself, your to-do list is not working out for you, click the top link in the description and I'll help you with that. I'll talk with you one-on-one and we'll sort out your schedule and beat this horrible procrastination, because I did it, and ever since I haven't procrastinated. Literally, no exaggeration, ever since then I have not procrastinated. So I know what I'm talking about. But if you do need extra help, click the top link in the description and I'll help you.